Hello, I'm Ollie and this is Criminally, where I talk about crime, pulp, horror, that kind of thing. Today I've got a book haul for you. So if you watched the video I put up yesterday, you'll know that I'm now on a Read What You Own challenge, where I'm reading 100 books I already own before buying any new ones. So this will be probably my last book haul of any great size for some time. There are a few caveats which will still allow books to sneak into the house, but only a very few. So I certainly won't be doing book hauls quite as big as this one for a while. So I've got a bunch of books to talk to you about here. In a variety of categories. So I've got a couple that I've got for my Disturbing Books project I'm doing. I've got some that were very kindly sent to me by subscribers. I've got some that were sent to me by the authors, and some other ones that I just fancied. So let's go through them together. So let's start with the ones from subscribers. So I received a package in the post the other day, very kindly, from a subscriber called Rick Croucher, who's been a supporter of the channel for a long time. So thank you, Rick. Your support is always really appreciated, and certainly these books are very much appreciated as well. So Rick sent me from the States, firstly this fantastic Library of America edition of Elmore Leonard Westerns. So it's got 4 novels and some short stories in here. So it's got Last Stand at Sabre River, Hombre, Valdez is Coming, and 40 Lashes Less One, plus some of his Western short fiction. I really like Elmore Leonard. Really looking forward to reading this. Perfect for June on the Range, the Western reading event in June, but I suspect I will dip into it long before then. And then Rick also sent me a bunch of lovely paperbacks, which he said in his note were kind of just to fill out the box, but they're all fantastic. So we've got The Scrambled Yeggs by Richard S. Prather. So this is one of the, what's he called, Shell Scott, one of the Shell Scott mysteries. I read another one of these a while ago, a few months ago, and I really enjoyed it. You'll see it says on the cover here that there were over 16 million books in this series sold at this point, and I think the series was far from over at that point, which, given that you just never hear about this character nowadays, is incredible. This is a lovely pulpy paperback with an extremely inappropriate picture on the cover there, if you can see that, of Shell Scott spanking some young lady. So yeah, definitely dubious sexual politics, but I'm sure I'll have a lot of fun with that. We've also got a Western, Gunman by Lauren D. Esselman. So I do enjoy a quick pulpy Western. This one looks good. I've not heard of Esselman, but apparently a 4-time Golden Spur Award winner, which is definitely a recommendation. Next up, some classic pulpy crime, I the Jury by Mickey Spillane, which I have read but have been meaning to reread. An absolutely fantastic pulp crime novel. One of the Travis McGee books, so a lovely Fawcett Gold Medal edition of The Quick Red Fox by John D. MacDonald. So Travis McGee is one of my favourite fictional private eyes. And this is a really nice, I'm guessing this is a 70s edition. Let me just check. Oh no, 60s. A 60s edition of one of the fairly early books in the series, I think, The Quick Red Fox. Can't remember quite what the order is, but yeah, I don't think I've read this one, so definitely looking forward to that. And also, in a very pulpy men's adventure type vein, Casca God of Death by Barry Sadler. So I've never read these books, but I remember being slightly fascinated by them as a kid. So Casca is the eternal mercenary. So basically, he's a soldier who kind of time travels and gets involved in different fights at different points in history. And when is this one? So this one, it looks like he might be with. It looks like he's in Mexico in this one with the Aztecs. So yes, I shall enjoy reading that as well. So thank you again very much for those, Rick. And then also had off my Amazon wish list this piece by Gene Wolfe. The note inside just said it was from Tom, so I don't know who Tom is. So if you're watching, Tom, thank you very much. A big fan of Gene Wolfe. So I read the Book of the New Sun back when I was a teenager and absolutely loved it. This is a book that was talked about. I can't remember whose channel it was on, but one of the BookTube channels I watch talked about this and said it was great. So yeah, really looking forward to reading this. It's got a great reputation, and Gene Wolfe is a fantastic author. So Tom, thank you very much again. In terms of books I've had from authors then, so got 4 to talk about. I think I need to check my emails. I think there's probably a couple more in the post at the moment, potentially, but these are the 4 I've got. So Mina and the Undead by Amy McCall, which I saw talked about on Erin Megan's channel. It took me a moment to remember her name. So yeah, Erin Megan talked about this and really enjoyed it. I commented on that, and Amy contacted me off that comment and said, would I like a copy? She's also A, signed it, which is always lovely, and B, sent me some goodies, so a bookmark and a couple of postcards. Well, this is like a flyer for a fake club. So yeah, this is like a YA vampire novel, I believe. So I don't normally read YA, but I do really like the sound of this one. So yeah, looking forward to that. This one, The Auschwitz Detective by Jonathan Dunsky. So Jonathan is an author who lives in Israel, I think I'm right in saying, and has written this series of novels about this Jewish detective. This is the kind of prequel to that series, and features that detective during the Holocaust. So I think it sounds like a fascinating subject if sensitively handled, which I'm sure it will be. So yeah, looking forward to reading that one as well. I'm trying to make a stack of books over here that's not going to fall over. This one sounds a lot of fun. So this is Mermaid of Venice by Jinsey Lumpkin. So Jinsey contacted me on Instagram, I think, about, or had posted about Notice, the Heather Lewis book, and about my video of that. And we ended up chatting a bit, and she offered to send me a copy of her book, and I jumped at it. So this is the first in a series about a mermaid, I think. So it sounds like a kind of mix of kind of fabulous trashiness, and I hope, Jinsey, I'm not doing down the book by saying that. That from me is a compliment, and kind of mystery and things like that. So yeah, looking forward to reading that. And then finally, one that was sent to me by the publishers, Vesuvian Books, River of Ashes by Alexandria Weiss and Lucas Astor, which is the first in a series, but sounds very interesting. So it's got kind of psychopaths, family secrets and things like that. So it sounds like an enjoyable thriller. So yeah, looking forward to that one as well. In terms of things I've picked up myself then, let's see what we've got. So for my Disturbing Books project, one I've talked about before because I think I received this before I did the video announcing that project. So The Melting by Liz Spitt. So I hadn't featured this in a book haul, so that's here. So this is, I think, a Flemish book, supposed to be very troubling, but very well written as well. It's had fantastic reviews. And then another one that people kept on recommending, and I gave in and have added it to my list of things to read, is The Cement Garden by Ian Mcewen. So Mcewen obviously is a very well-known British novelist. I think I've only ever read one thing by him. So I remember reading a short story by him, which was in one of the Pan books of horror stories, which were like a mainstay of British bookshops in like the 70s and 80s. These kind of anthologies that there were dozens of. And I definitely remember reading an Ian Mcewen story in one of those, which was really disturbing, I have to say. So yeah, looking forward to that one. And also, so I'm not going to read this as part of the Disturbing Book project, but it was recommended in the comments on one of my videos, I forget which one. So this is Primo Levi's book about his experiences of the Holocaust. Is this If This Is a Man? I think it's 2 separate books. I think The Truce is a separate book, but following on from the first book. So yeah, very... I mean, this is a classic book analysing the Holocaust, isn't it? So something I'm definitely interested in reading, but I'm not intending to include any non-fiction in the Disturbing Book project. One that was recommended to me in the comments is this. So I did a video a little while ago where I compared 2 books by Black American authors, so 2 crime books, one of which was by Donald Goines and one by Chester Himes. So the Chester Himes book's from the 50s, A Rage in Harlem. The Donald Goines book, Inner City Hoodlums, from the 70s. A viewer called Cyberdisc recommended this to me. So this is The Conjure Man Dies by Rudolph Fischer. So this is from the 1930s, I think. And I think I'm right in saying this is the first American crime novel by a black author. It has, from what I've read about it, it's supposed to be excellent. So it felt like a very good fit for those other books. And I quite like the part of me that likes number coincidences likes the fact that this is 20 years before the Chester Himes book, which was 20 years before, or 2 decades roughly, before the Donald Goines book. So yeah, really interested in reading this. And in a similar vein, also picked up this, Crime Partners by Donald Goines. So in my last book haul video, I talked about a bunch of Donald Goines books I've got, 3 of which I think were in the Kenyatta series. What I didn't realise at the time, and someone pointed out in the comments, was I didn't have the first book in the Kenyatta series, which is this one. So I've now got that one. I've also got this. So this is heavy. This is the 3rd volume of the Saga Press Elric of Melniboné kind of collected editions. So this has got, I don't know how many books this has got in it. 3 or 4, I'm guessing. So 3 books. So the Dream Thief's Daughter, The Skraeling Tree, and The White Wolf's Son. So I'm reading through the Elric books at the moment. I've got the first 2 volumes of this Saga Press editions, which are absolutely lovely. I was a big fan of the Elric books as a teenager, so it's been a real pleasure revisiting them. I also got, following my first experience with Junji Ito, which I did a video about a little while ago. So I had read his book Shiver, which is a collection of short stories. I got this one, Uzumaki, which lots of people say is his best work and is a like a longer form work. So I don't know how many pages it is, but a few hundred, and fantastically weird and disturbing, as you can tell from those end papers. So yeah, very much looking forward to this. And then, right, a few more things to go. So I was in town the other day, popped into a charity shop, and they had a load of Mo Hayder books. So I'm reading Birdman by Mo Hayder, which is the first of her Jack Caffrey series. And these books are all subsequent books in that series. So I'm reading that as part of the Disturbing Books Challenge. Lots of people have talked about her in the comments on my videos. And she's an author. Well, I've never read her Mo Hayder books. She published posthumously a book called The Book of Sand, which was published under the name Theo Clare, which I did read and I really enjoyed that. So yeah, looking forward to digging into the Jack Caffrey series. And these are all cheap, so I grabbed them. So we've got Ritual, Skin, Gone, which I've got a feeling I might have a copy of this somewhere else, but if I have, I couldn't find it. And then the one with the creepiest cover, Pop It, which has got a very creepy cat thing on the cover there. So yes, looking forward to reading all of those. Is that a cat thing? I don't even know what that is, and that's what makes it creepy. And then finally, this again, and I apologies, I couldn't find the comment where it was referenced, but this was recommended by somebody in the comments. And when I looked it up on Goodreads, it just sounded a bit wild. So I bought a copy of it, and it's got an incredibly horrible cover, I have to say. Every time I look at this cover, I get slightly freaked out. So anyway, it is Star Child by Fred Mustard Stewart, which is a great name, which apparently is a riveting psychosexual thriller. But yeah, look at that cover. Isn't that... Can you see it? Focus. Isn't that a disturbing picture? It's really creepy. So yes, I don't really know much about this, other than it sounds a bit batty. So yeah, quite looking forward to that. So yeah, that is what will be my final book haul of any great size for some time. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that, and let me know if you read any of the books. So, time for a random book from the shelves, and today's book is We Sold Ourselves by Grady Hendrix, which is one you don't see talked about that much. So everyone seems to talk about My Best Friend's Exorcism and Horror Store, but this one doesn't get that much attention. But I really like this. I liked it as much as My Best Friend's Exorcism. So it's about a rock and roll band who do a deal with the devil, and then later on kind of try and get back together again, and loads of weird stuff happens. But I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it's got a really good, strong central female character as well. So yeah, I had a lot of fun with this one. So I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know if you've read any of the books I hauled today, if there's any you think I should get to sooner than others. Thanks again to Rick and Tom for the books they sent me. Very much appreciated. And thanks to the authors who sent me books as well. I'm looking forward to digging into all of those. But yeah, as always, hope you're safe and well out there. Hope you're reading good stuff, and I'll speak to you again very soon. Cheerio.